Okay, what is up, everyone? This is Will Mosley. I make films about the creative process, and this is the pretty much just the making of Game of Thrones Part 1. And also, if you notice this kind of red thing right here, this means media missing. There's certain pieces of films, a lot of times as you're doing more and more films, and you move stuff around or you need different hard drives, you'll get that. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that as well. But yeah, hopefully this will be good. This one, I started with like crazy high enthusiasm. I'm like, damn, hell yeah, I'm going to make this happen. Super excited. But it's one of those ideas that you have and then you write about it and then it just kind of fizzles. And then you've kind of said that you're going to do it, so you got to do it. I'm happy with how both of these came out, but they definitely took longer than I wanted. Let's begin. All right, so with this opening scene, this is what sometimes this can be crippling, right? This opening scene is dope as hell. This happened to be a drone shot that I got. I literally put the drone in the air. I was boarding around, and this guy was like, "Oh, is that a drone?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's a drone." And he was like, "I want to do a burnout." I'm like, "Okay." And he did a burnout. Things that you don't see in this is that the guy, I don't think he realized it, but he came kind of close to me. Like when you get all the smoke, you can't see a thing. He's like, "Where'd he go?" The cool thing I like about this scene, though, is that one, it starts out with a not like a what's it called? Not a real, like you're revealing something. So the cloud, it's actually reversed. So I figured that'd add a little bit more to it. I used the soundtrack like rates in the circuitry because I was thinking Game of Thrones, like this is going to be epic, right? That was intentional. And then also what I love about this scene is that it kind of comes, your focus is on the car, but as the car exits the scene, your focus starts to begin like on me, like, oh wait, there's a person there, and also this person is back. And I like how it started with the and it started our intro, which is dope. Now this is where things start to crumble apart for me, right? Excited, got this whole first intro, got everything laid out on the timeline, but because I led with such a high impact scene, it made the rest of the film feel hard to create and follow. Also note, like, the titles, I don't know what's going on with my titles right here. I think my system reset its fonts, so I gotta re-add those, but it's obviously not the right font style, but bear with me. I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve on my brother. So, I'm actually thinking about going back to our original song. I'm down with Problems on Problems, and I like the track a lot, but I did like the one previous to this that it felt a little less heavy, so I was able to lead in easier with most of my stuff. Thinking about it. Also, I'm going back to vertical films. That's something we'll talk about later.
Something that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression is all that I wanted. The phone in affection, I summon and dub it. Cause I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money.
What's up, guys? William Mosley here. I make films about the creative process, filmmaking. So, if you're wondering very quickly what fonts I use, this right here is the wrong font. So I'm just going to highlight it. And we're going to very quickly change it to Open Sans Condensed Light. That's what I use. Creative process, filmmaking, e-commerce, design, all that stuff. Was that car scene not dope? Just like the burnout? I know I led with like a really great drone shots. This vlog right here is explaining a little bit about how I use drones, and more importantly, why you don't specifically need a drone. All right, which was really the basis of this, is like drones are cool, but you can probably do stuff with your camera. Like that was kind of the lead in with this entire film. And then my second film was kind of more on like how I'm using drones right now if you do finally get one. Let's go ahead and jump in. This was tough because like we just came from like like epic whatever, and then it's like comes into like a really soft song, which just, as you know, I naturally just lead whatever the events are kind of going on. So this was kind of tough. And then also the drone film itself, as you find out later on in this film, it was over several days. So this was kind of tough. Today's family day. I've spent half the day editing a film, so I really want to do something with the boys. That film was the lift board, one wheel.
I get in Zen mode and just focus on the road and focus on the feel, and it's fantastic.
Film. I'm pretty happy with it, pretty proud of it.
Yeah, we're candies. Bareback.
And that kind of sound in between this
Road and focus on the feel.
That messed up the pretty much the audio kind of from here, because you could go from chill music to all of a sudden like the audio. So a smart take would have been just removing the audio, the soundtrack audio from this, and then leading in. Those are things that I'm recognizing and seeing that don't need to happen.
Down by the sea.
So why don't you need a drone? Because drones really, like I said before, like they only make up like a small... This was another mistake right here. I put 5%, and then like later on in the film I said 1%. So either way it went, one of these clips should have been cut. Just one for inconsistency, and two, just, you know, you don't want to repeat yourself a million times. They only make up like a small, tiny % of the film, and it's not going to make you a better, per se, filmmaker. Like, you getting a drone is going to change that. You have to be able to tell a story. You have to be able to put all that together. If I literally made a film, a 2-minute film with just drone shots. Note, missing clip. So very quickly, I'm using this. If you're ever wondering how to kind of relink media, like that's missing, I'm not going to do it like right this second, but I'll show you the process of what you do. You're going to click on in Final Cut, File, or Edit, and then you're going to go down to actually File. Yeah, it's File. File, relink files. You can do this for an entire library or, you know, an entire project or event. You click on locate all, or you can do all, like right here, like if you weren't. Locate selected, and then, you know, search the main bit of your hard drive, and then you press choose. I'm not going to do that because I'm trying to keep this kind of short, so wait for Rainbow Wheel of Death to get out of our way. But this film also, like, the thing that I didn't like that I had to do with this one was make a part 2. I like to make my films as just like one full whole, like, kind of thoughts. And part 1s and part 2s typically, like, there's a week or 2 weeks in between that, and it's just tough. You'd be bored by like 15 seconds. It's boring watching drone shots over and over. You have to have context. It just builds to it. It adds to it. That's why I suggest just getting a drone a little bit later, because it's a big investment. Also, you see all these dots up here. Okay. The one of the big reasons why I use Final Cut Pro is even though I literally just opened back up this project, I cleared the entire cache, I cleared everything previous to all this, so everything that you see right here, these little dots, that means it's actually hasn't rendered any of that stuff yet, or hasn't, like, you know, gone through and did its thing yet, but it's still able to play, you know, fairly clean comparatively to like Premiere Pro, which just is, you gotta wait for buffer, wait, you know.
The common ways, kiss my feet.
Also, like, I like that the soundtrack was like Kiss My Feet, but then it just didn't roll at all with what the, you know, was going on. So live and you learn. Some days I feel like, some days I want to like it to be like a crazy epic day, but they're just like crazy chill like this. But I gotta remind myself that that's okay. You know, every day is not some wild adventure. Although the vlogs can make it seem that way. That is the truth of it. Vlogs, like, you see the highlights of everyone's life. Like, even right here, this is like me taking out the camera and deciding to talk to the camera, and I don't want to talk to the camera all the time. So don't let that, you know, get in the way of your perception about someone's world in comparison to yours. Okay, we're gonna go. This was literally right before I lost the, not lost, but broke the RX 100. It's so sad. Like, look at that range. Like, you see how it gets all the range of these clouds? Like, the SL2 would have just blown that out. And this is where we get to me actually talking about the drone, which is actually quite, it's like 3 minutes 50 seconds in, which is a lot. I'd rather have started at maybe 2 minutes. If you need a promotional film that's very run and gun, if you follow the works of Gary Vee.
I believe that right there is the definition of entrepreneurship. It's when you love your game more than what the game gives you.
Things like that, someone that can really capture your life. Very quickly, how did I get that clip? I used something that's called UMMY video downloader, UMMY video downloader, and you literally can download any YouTube video in different formats and all sorts of stuff. Super simple, super easy. Just, you know, be respectful. You notice that this clip was 8 seconds. I try to make it no more than like 3 to 10 seconds. You know what I mean? Like, it's their film. I'm just using context to kind of talk about him. As you're doing it, what you're doing, show your creative process. I can make that happen for you. Click the link below, or this URL right here. I'm holding the camera, so like right here, and we'll get started.
They are still like, if you're not going to use this, take it back as quick as you can. Get your money back. Don't feel bad. This is a big company.
That's your classic. There's been a lot of talk about J-cuts lately. I just now started recently using them, but you see the audio from the ambulance scene starts before this clip, or, you know, before it comes in, before you see the visual, so you feel it. Like how this led in. What's up, guys? Today we are talking about drones. I'm guessing that all of the drone, or a lot of the drone footage is not connected, but here goes some that's connected. I like how the soundtrack led in. Shout out to Cody. Let's go drop it. or I think it was prom, like, you know, maybe day before or afternoon before prom. Absolutely my favorite building in Asheville. I don't know why, I just love it. Love it. Something else with drones that I see. Another J cut. If you press on the clip and press Control S, you can see like the audio. You can actually manipulate that. I'm going to manipulate that very quickly just so you can kind of get a contextual vibe. Alright, so this is what it would sound like if I didn't do a J cut. Something else with drones that I see a lot. Not bad, but a hack to kind of shorten the film, and also get you to kind of talking about or hearing it. You know what I mean? Like leading into that clip. Something else with drones that I see a lot of people do with really expensive drones is they'll buy $1,000 drone or the $1,000 drone, whatever, but they never use it because they don't have the confidence to just take it out in front of people. It's tough taking your drone out in front of people, but you got to do it. It's awkward. It's definitely awkward, but you're not going to get the shot that you don't execute on. You have to take it out, you have to get it. There's definitely ways around it. Just find a private bench, a rooftop, whatever it is, but you have to take it out. And you have to take it out roughly daily if you're going to get good at using your... Okay, so before we talk drones, like, I want to mention a couple more notes about the lift board. This could have probably just been cut out, like, had nothing really to do with drone stuff, but it does kind of have to do with me feeling not super good. Right now my equilibrium is just feeling all sorts of off because of the weight that's in my drones. And I've said this before, I'll say it again. You don't know how long I was stuck in between this. Let me just zoom out. This from this point where I'm in Brevard, like kind of like all this, all the way up to here. I was stuck for several days, just like couldn't get it. It didn't flow. I'll say it a million times. Drones aren't like necessary for you to be a good filmmaker by any means. It does add to the perspective, but the amount of drone shots you're probably going to put in your film is about like 1%. So literally, we've got... I like this part where I've actually kind of shown you how to get it off the ground. Got our drone right here. It's facing, now it's kind of facing my feet right now, as you can see. And then what you want to make sure, at least that I make sure to do, is always press the record button first so it's going and you don't mess that up. Look for that ready to GPS. That's important. Like, that's so important right there. You don't think it, but it's important. Don't fly with in-flight vision, or don't take it out to anywhere crazy with in-flight vision. You'll lose it. Sometimes it doesn't come on, and I'll explain maybe more of that later. And then you can also see the automation, the robot guy, and then up in the air. So we're gonna go ahead and push this thing to flight. Slide to take off, yes. And as you can see, it's just kind of looking at me. It's just staying right there. Now, with that being said, there's a lot of mood, a lot of atmosphere that you can convey. My second favorite part of this film was actually making this happen. Looks like some of the drone footage is missing, so whatever. But when you do have a drone, bikers going backwards. I like those close-up one word, just here it is, bam, bam, bam. tough part about this film as well was this was pretty much the only drone shot I had of that day because I didn't feel good. And then the whole film was about drones. So I pulled old existing drone footage that I had and made it work. But ideally it would have been like same day footage, which would have been nice. Okay. How to use, like, you get your... Oops. Messing with stuff. To use, like, you get your footage, you got your footage in, like, you took a really long 15-minute... I'm pretty much going to be like, hey, this is how you edit your drone footage. This screen recording right here, which is technically missing as well, shows you how to do that, but I can show you. Let's see. This was actually from, I think, yesterday or something. I don't know. I'm just gonna bring it over here. Pull it into the feed. This is a very tiny short clip, so it's not whatever. But you click on B. Break, you know, break it up. And then what you're going to do after that, and this is typically like a 15-minute clip. This is probably like a 1-minute clip. You highlight it all together and press Control D. You shorten it to, say, 3 seconds each, 300, press Enter, and there you have it, you know, broken up. You know, and then, like, so what'll happen is this, like, right, you see that? That one's the same one. So you go in, delete it. Okay, that's a little bit different. That's different. That's about the same, so delete that one. About the same, so delete that one. This one is a little bit different. And this one's not the same. So you end up with, like, you know, say that was 4 clips from 1 minute. And from 15 minutes, you'd have, you know, plenty more clips. But pretty much how you do it. Simple. Coming back here, I'm pretty much just saying how shitty I'm feeling and not feeling good. Hadn't ate anything. Nothing special about that. And then this is pretty much saying, hey, I'm going to, like, make a second film or video about this. And then I think I have this next time. This clip was probably a little too long, and then this guy is, I don't know, it's pretty much probably saying the same thing or something along the lines. Oh, no, this is like sponsored stuff. Nothing too crazy. So was this one of my favorite films? Not by a chance. It was good. There was a lot of different learning experiences in it, you know, starting to add text to my films, getting used to using drones around, like pulling different clips, downloading a video from YouTube, a lot of different stuff, but definitely not the absolute best, but a lot of good stuff here. All right, hopefully you guys enjoyed this drone, this kind of deep dive into making how to drone or Game of Drones Part 1. Part 2 I was much more proud of, but that also, it was just like one of those things where it just felt like it was going on for a month, me making these 2 films, when it really wasn't, but it was crazy. Alright, remember, if you need a promotional film from me, that's, you know, dope, that's amazing, that's crazy cool, that's awesome. You can go over to heywillmosley.com and we can hook up, or you can DM me on Instagram at heywillmosley.com. That's where you can see a lot of my portfolio work anyways. Who says anyways? All right, catch you guys on the next one. Peace.